Do you
It's
guys?
an Apple Watch, so it's probably checking text messages.
Or he's
Called it.
Being workout in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, hi guys. Have a seat.
Let me just see if I have anyone in here joining me virtually. A lot of my virtual kids are here.
Did anyone bring their cards back from last week? You have yours downstairs, okay. I forgot what the password was.
Same.
You forgot what it was. Okay, that's okay. So last week we talked about stress triggers, right? Like how to kind of assess what are things that make your stress level rise, and then what do you do with that, right? We talked about this the other day too, didn't we, Princess? How do I find some like stress relieving things? And so today we are going to talk about how do you know when you need to find those stress reliever things. And so I want to just kind of talk you through that during like our mindfulness piece, and then we're going to move a lot today, so we might be a little sweaty, okay? Does that sound okay? Awesome. Oh, I knew it was going to be him. Austin, I knew it. I knew you were coming today. I got you, dude. Can you hear me? I like your picture. That's real cute. All right, here we go. If you've been sitting for a little bit, let's go ahead and cross our legs the other way. And take the flesh of your booty, kind of move it off to the side so you can really feel those sits bones. Go ahead and close your eyes. And bring your hands to either the front of your shin, the front of your knee here. And really take time to think about your posture, especially if you've been doing this all day, right? I want to inspire you to let go of any problem that you are maybe still thinking about that you encountered today, or any task on the to-do list that hasn't yet been completed, any argument that you had, anything that caused any sort of stress. Just let that go. You don't need to be thinking about that right now. So we hear a lot often about, finding things to relieve stress, but some of you maybe are like me and you don't know that you're stressed until you absolutely crash. And so today I want to talk about maybe signs of stress that you might not even know are the starts of stress. And as I talk you through this, I want this to be a time of self-reflection for you. So when I say self-reflection, I mean, as I talk through an item here, I want you to be thinking, does that fit my life? Does that have to do with me or my experiences right now? Keeping your eyes closed, keeping that posture going. So stress triggers are when our mindset and our connection with ourselves is hindered. And that happens in a couple of different ways. One of them is with compassion. When your level of compassion for others or for yourself is hindered, you're usually approaching a stress zone. You're less forgiving, you're a little snappier, you're not taking care of you. Keep those inhales and exhalations going. When your sleep is affected, that's usually a sign of a stress trigger. When you wake up multiple times during the night, or oppositely, you don't want to get your butt out of bed. Your mind and your body are
are looking usually for some sort of release. That's where the self-care piece comes in, right? When you pause to reflect and you can't remember the last time you did nothing, like true nothing, totally just chilled, that's usually the sign that it's time for you to do that, because a stress trigger might be coming on. And I don't mean sitting down, you know, watching every season of Game of Thrones with like 4 bags of Doritos. I mean like something that recharges you, that balances you. Because we don't need to be busy all the time. And last but not least, when self-reflection has left, that's usually a sign that you need to bring it back. I know it sounds silly, but truly asking yourself questions like, how are you doing? And being confident and brave to answer them, honestly. Where is your time being spent? Is that healthy? Do I need to make any changes? What do you need to cut back on? What do you need to say no to? It's the hardest word in my vocabulary. So those are signs that stress is approaching, and I want you to just check in with yourself if you have any of those signs in your life right now. As we go through our practice today, we're going to breathe through them and try to analyze how we could take care of ourselves and step away from those stress triggers. Go ahead and open your eyes, and let's start together in Tadasana on our mats. All right, so we remember, guys, that Tadasana is this strength posture in the center of our mats with energy just shooting through the 4 corners of our feet. And Tadasana, when it was originated, was originally created by, you know, smaller, younger boys in the Middle East, and so they don't have our American bodies. So a lot of people think that Tadasana, you know, you need to have your feet smushed together, but really you need to have stability. That's what you need here, okay? So, you know, if the wind blows hard enough, this posture won't make you fall over. That's what Tadasana is. And we're going to warm up here by taking those feet wide and keeping those Tadasana feet as we go wide. And remember here, the outside of your foot should be parallel to the outside of your short mat, okay? So we might feel a little pigeon-toed here. We're going to turn our toes over to the side while keeping our hips to me. That's the hardest part here. And we're going to reach over that leg that's turned out to the side as far as we can until we can't reach anymore. And we're going to end here in triangle pose. And this pose is so great for so many reasons. It's called triangle, obviously, because we're making triangles. But what we want to establish here is this energy through the chest and through fingertips to fingertips. And if that's hard for you, I want to challenge you to just put your top hand on your hip. And you can see that automatically by doing that, that energy in your chest kind of opens up. Do you see that? And then as if we have strings attached to either our fingertips or that elbow, whichever one you're at, I want you to pull yourself up straight, engaging with the core. And we're going to go right on over to the other side. Check in. Don't hold your breath here. That's where you'll fall over. And we're going to reach on over to that other side until we can't reach anymore. And lift it. And triangle on the other side. Again, you can bring that hand to the hip. Stretch. Lifting ourselves up. We're going to head right on back over to that other side. And we're going to go down into a warrior 2 pose. So really the same thing that we just did with the hips here, okay? But now we have a bent leg off to the side. And we're going to do a little bit of a flow here, so follow my directions as we go. That bent leg is working to be a 90-degree angle, okay? You do not ever want your knee to go over your toes here, okay? It's okay if it's not at a perfectly 90-degree angle, but that's what we're working towards. And in Warrior 2, our hips are facing me. Arms are straight. We're going to transition into a Warrior 1 by bringing that back hand down and up, and then bringing those hips now to the same side that the toe was. And the hips should now work to frame that bent leg, okay? This is a Warrior 1. So I'm going to do that transition again. If you're there, stay there. But we were just here in Warrior 2, where hips were facing me. My back arm comes down to go up, and my hips rotate so they are framing my front knee, my bent knee here. And you should be like strong as a warrior. If you wish, you could do a nice little back bend with an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to go down into a low lunge. If your pants rip, that is okay.
Have another pair.
You can make your stance a little bit shorter if that feels better for you. And anytime you want to bring that back knee down, you can do that also, okay? If you're not really feeling the intensity of this stretch and you want to bring both palms to the inside of that bent foot, that front foot, you may do that. And now drop that back knee and flip the front of the foot down onto the mat. And send those sits bones back as you lift that front foot in a flexed manner. Yeah, there you go. Toes to nose. Awesome. Keeping the integrity of your spine here. Good job, Austin. Come on back to that low lunge. Rotate that back foot down into where it was for our warrior poses and lift yourself up into Warrior 1 again. Open back up into Warrior 2. Let's reverse here, stretch it out. Release. Let's go on over to the other side. We're just still warming up here, guys, right? Here we go. Down into a Warrior 2, other side. Check in. Where are your hips? They should be facing me. Your gaze is like right over that middle finger of that front hand. Now we're going to do the same transition that we did last time, from Warrior 2 to Warrior 1. This back hand is going to go down to come up. Your back foot might turn in ever so slightly. And then we go right back to that 90-degree angle in the front knee. Abdominals are in. If you wish to do a little back bend here, go ahead and do that. And as you exhale, we go down to that low lunge on the other side. And do what your body kind of tells you you need to do here. You know, you want to rock back and forth. If you want to go like bent leg, straight leg, whatever. Lock in those abdominal muscles. Again, your back knee can always, always, always go down. Don't hold your breath. Bringing the back knee down and plant the top of the foot onto your mat. Send those sits bones back as your front foot flexes. Toes to your nose. Come on back to that low lunge. Swivel that back foot down and plant it as we scoop ourselves up into a warrior one. Open into a warrior two. Straighten that leg and come on back to Tadasana. Can we stretch that out, please? Hands come to hips and we dive forward, grabbing both elbows, hanging our head. You can rock side to side here, front and back. Think about like all the stress and the worries just like spilling out the top of your head right now. I love visualizing that. Get out of here. Go down the drain. Hands come back to those hips. And we lift up. All right. So, the way we get through hard things is to strengthen ourselves to get ready for hard things, right? Like we do the work for when hard things come. It's a proactive approach. So we're going to do some work now that is going to strengthen us. And again, you might sweat a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. So we're going to go into a chair pose here. And chair is literally exactly its name. You're going to pretend that there's a chair behind you. And you're going to bend down like almost like you're going to sit down in a chair, but you're not. You're just going to sit on the air, okay? And your chair will be stable when you have those toes up, right? And you're really feeling those four corners and you're not falling over. Chair does not have knees over toes. That does weird things to your body. So you're really trying to work to get those knees in line with your ankles, okay? So let's all go into chair together here. Starting with Tadasana, feeling that strength, that grounding. And then sitting back on the air behind us. Bring those toes up. Check in with yourself. When you're ready, you can drop your toes down and sink a little bit lower in chair. Hands come up. Right by your ears. But one thing that I don't want are turtles, okay? This is turtle. This is out of the turtle shell. So make sure you maintain that space between your shoulders and your earlobes. And on an inhale, we're going to go up just a little bit. Exhale, deepen. Inhale up. Exhale, deepen. Inhale up. Exhale, deepen. Inhale up. Exhale, hold. Hands come to prayer, heart center. Your legs are going to be screaming, you'll love me later. All right, now do as I say, don't watch what I do because I'm opposite of you. So you're going to take your right elbow and you are going to look to your left and hook that right elbow to the outside of your left knee, okay? I'll show you that again. Heart center, look left, hook that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Twisted chair. Farting and falling is fine here, remember that. Come on up to the heart center. Arms come up. We lift with an inhale. Deepen with an exhale. Lift. Deepen. Last one here, lift. Hands come to heart center, hold. Strong legs, strong base, strong chair, looking right. Hello. Left elbow hooks on to that right outside knee and we twist. You might be shaking right now. Your muscles might be saying, why are you doing this? They're talking to you because you're paying attention to them. That's a good thing. Come on back to chair one last time. And lift up. Good job, guys. Shake it out. Shake it out. Let's take it to the floor. We're going to start on all fours here. Sorry. I'm going to go a little bit on an angle here, Austin, so you can see my face still. Okay. That wasn't an awesome transition, but it's just because we're running out of time and I want to get to what I wanted to get to today. So, you know how when I was talking to you guys about those four corners of your feet, right? These four pieces here, your hands have those same corners. So you can touch them, you can feel them. The first corner is right underneath that pointer. The second one is right below the thumb. Third is on the outside, which this one is kind of the one that's, these two are really not used enough. And then the other one is right underneath your pinky. So you know when you were in kindergarten and you like did the handprint art for mom for Mother's Day or whatever? No, or like the wet cement. That's what we're going to visualize. Well, that's what I always said. That's what we're going to visualize when we're here on all fours, okay? We're making those handprints in the earth. And what that does is it helps us relieve some of that tension in our wrists, and it really just disperses our weight onto our hands, right? Another way to ensure that we're keeping our wrists safe, is to make sure that you're not like this, and that you're not like the, oh, this is really just weird. Don't do that. You want your wrist and elbow and shoulder to be in one straight line here, okay? So from here, we're gonna go to a cat-cow series, which is like amazing for your nervous system. And we're gonna start by dropping our head and lifting our back. And with an inhale then, we drop that back and lift our head. And you can feel that pull from the lower back to the lower base of the neck. And then you can also feel that pull from your lower abdominals all the way up through your chest. So I want you to do this going at your own pace here. This is cat-cow pose. Yes, my dog actually does this all the time, so I don't know why it's cat-cow. And then from here, we're gonna go back to a neutral spine while we curl our toes under. And we're gonna send our sits bones to the ceiling. So just like we thought we had strings on our fingertips, I want you like on your like lower back, your butt bones, pretend you have strings, and it's gonna lift you straight up into the air, straightening your legs slowly but mindfully. I always like to go on my tippy toes to like get as high in the air as I can, and then find my fours. I promise someday this will feel like a relaxation pose. I promise you. From downward dog, we're going to do a little abdominal work here. And I want you to pretend that there's like a tiny little hurdle in the middle of our mat. I was a hurdler in high school. And you're going to jump over that hurdle in the center of your mat, squeezing those abdominal muscles and meeting in plank, okay? This is what plank is not. This is what plank is not. Plank is working to get that flat back that you have while you're standing, while you're down here. And then you're going to push back into down dog. Nice work. Inhale, come on back to plank. Exhale, head on back to down dog. If you have any tension in your elbows or your wrists, make sure when you are in plank that your elbows, wrists, and what are they? Oh yeah, shoulders are all in one line. Okay, downward dog one last time. Come on back to plank. Chaturanga is when you do a reverse push-up. So you slowly lower, knees can be on the ground here until you are fully on the ground. We'll practice. I'll show you that one more time, okay? So you're in a plank position, and you kind of go right onto your tippy toes. Chaturanga, slow push-up down to the ground. You'll love me tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. You'll love me on Saturday. Hands underneath the shoulders here. Forehead down on the mat. Slowly, like, graze your nose on the mat all the way up into a slight cobra stretch. Don't hold your breath. Bring it back down. We're balancing out our back body with our front body now. Do that same thing again. Slight cobra stretch. This is technically considered a back bend, guys. And bring it back down. Slight cobra stretch. And this time, if you want to add on, flex that left foot and that right foot. And if you want, grab the outside ankle of both of those. Pushing the ankle into the hands into a nice bow pose. And if it feels good, probably not for the boys, but if it feels good to rock back and forth, you can. And relax on your mat. All right, now I want to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. So stay there.
Thank you.
And I want you to visualize what your mat is a mirror that you're fogging up with your breath. Okay? When I am putting a beanie baby on your back, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm not going to sing like I did earlier.
What?
I want you to feel your breath. And I want you to feel your breath with this beanie baby going up and down as you inhale and exhale. Okay? Just that extra weight can help you pay attention to that. So when you inhale, that beanie baby should go up. When you exhale or when you fog that mat, that beanie baby should go down. Inhale, the beanie baby goes up. Sometimes we take for granted things that we are no longer aware of, and our breath is one of those things. Like, I know it's silly that you have a beanie baby going up and down on your back right now, but that tiny little weight is aimed to help you remember the power that is inside of you, that breath. Without it, literally, you would be doing nothing, you wouldn't be able to do anything. I would harder breathe. What I'd like you to do now is keep your eyes closed, grab your beanie. And if that reminder for breath awareness is good for you, you can bring your beanie baby to your belly. If you like kind of feeling that awareness of breath. You don't have to have it though if you don't want to. And I want you to splay your legs off the mat. Splay your arms, palms open. And I want you to rest. There are so many things in yoga that are metaphors for life, right? Like if you even just look at physically what we just did together, I had you twisted up in knots. I had your muscles, shaking because we were working them and strengthening them. And even though we just did that, we're still able to find this sense of calm and relaxing here. And for me, that's such a great reminder for life, like as storms are coming or as I'm going through just junk, that this peace, this calm, it's still possible even if it's tricky. But this right here that you are choosing to be a part of, this utter relaxation, this attention to breath, no work needed, it is a choice. And the same goes for us in life. As we're navigating junk and storms and tricky people and hard situations, we can still have the choice to take care of ourselves by looking for something that gives us rest, that gives us peace, that calms us down. It is a choice that each and every one of you made today, and I'm thankful for that. Embrace what this rest feels like. Maybe show some gratitude for the oxygen pumping through your body with every inhale. Instead of trying to ignore the distractions around us, embrace them and let them go. Slowly, when you're ready, begin to move those fingertips and toes. Wiggle them ever so slightly. Slowly and mindfully roll on over to your left side in a fetal position. Slowly and mindfully push yourself up with closed eyes into that seated position that we started our time together with. Hands come to heart center. My friends, I want to inspire you to choose that thing that gives you rest, that gives you peace. Watch out for those stress triggers so that you know it's time to take care of you. Today, I want to honor the light and bravery inside of every single one of you by bowing our heads together and saying namaste. Namaste. Good job, guys. Wonderful. Nice work, Austin. See you later, dude. And hey, I recorded this, so I'll send it to you once I upload it so you can have it for the week, okay, bud?
Okay.
Adios.
See ya.
See ya. I have seen goat yoga. I did a yoga retreat in Honduras once at Earth Mama's Cafe. It's exactly what it sounds like. And we had, so they have these tiny little bugs, Mr. Tyler will tell you about them, called no-see-ums that just like bite the heck out of you. And all of a sudden you have bites all over and you're like, where did they come from? The no-see-ums. So in our yoga class, there were chickens. In our yoga retreat, every day there were chickens that would just walk around us, around our mats, and they would eat the no-see-ums so we didn't get bit while we were doing yoga outdoors. And it took a couple days for me to get used to it. Just a chicken while I'm in down dog, like walking underneath me. We will not do that here. If you guys have any questions about anything that we did today or that we talked about today, I would love to talk to you about them. If you had anything that maybe surfaced that you want to talk about or share, I'd love to talk about that. If you're feeling like a sweaty Betty and you just want to leave and go get a drink, see you later. Same time, same place next week. Actually, same time. I don't know if we will stay here. I have to get clarification on that. But same time, and I'll send an announcement to let you know where, okay? Okay, yoga buddies. That's what they're called with Sing Song. You can put them in my namaste bag. That's fine.
No way.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your week and weekend.